SpaceX plans to ramp up its Falcon 9 launches from the Vandenberg launch site in California, but it seems California isn't on board. And why? Because of Elon Musk. Yes, the California Coastal Commission opposes SpaceX's expansion, citing Musk's political views and their potential impact on the 2024 US elections. However, what they may not anticipate is that Musk could take legal action against them. So why is the Coastal Commission concerned about Elon's politics? How does the public feel about this? And what steps might Musk take in response? I've got all the answers in today's video, so let's dive right in. Musk versus California. Recently, the California Coastal Commission, the CCC, voted against a request from the US Space Force to increase the number of SpaceX Falcon 9 launches at Vandenberg Space Force Base. Now, if you're thinking this decision was purely for environmental reasons and just California's way of protecting its coastal areas, think again. Before we go any further in today's video, let me ask you to do something for me. Just hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and also share it with fellow space enthusiasts. In exchange, I'll make sure to keep you up to date with every launch, mission, and cosmic discovery going on in the world of space. Back to the ongoing clash between SpaceX and California. SpaceX is seeking to raise the Falcon 9 launch frequency from 36 to 50 launches per year at Vandenberg, a site strategically ideal for polar and sun-synchronous orbits. These orbits are critical for satellite missions like Earth observation and reconnaissance. Launching from Vandenberg provides direct access to these orbits over the Pacific Ocean, reducing flights over populated areas. This setup is efficient and safe for the government and commercial satellites that SpaceX handles. Increasing launch rates at Vandenberg would also streamline SpaceX's operations to meet growing private and government demand, particularly as the satellite industry expands. Plus, this increase aligns with the US Space Force's mission to optimize launch infrastructure and keep pace with the rapidly growing space sector. So given the advantages that this proposal offers California and the nation, why was it rejected? The answer lies in today's political climate and Elon Musk's involvement in it. Musk's support for Trump in the upcoming elections has made him a controversial figure, provoking responses from the opposition. But while politics usually stays in its own lane, the California Coastal Commission's decision suggests this time the political friction has bled into the space industry. The California Coastal Commission, the CCC, has openly, albeit indirectly, admitted to taking a regulatory approach against SpaceX and Elon Musk, largely due to the concerns about Musk's political statements on X, formerly Twitter. Commissioner Gretchen Newsom specifically voiced concerns about Musk's political posts, adding that SpaceX seems focused more on maximizing profit than on the welfare of its employees or environmental impact. It didn't stop there. CCC chairperson Carol Hart mentioned that the case has political implications involving both the US government and the Coastal Commission, though it's still unclear how the Commission's regulatory role connects it directly to Musk's political stance or SpaceX's activities. Further environmental concerns were raised by the CCC over the impact of Falcon 9's sonic booms, likening these concerns to those previously delayed by the FAA's licensing for Starship's fifth launch. Despite the FAA ultimately finding that these launches pose little environmental risk, the CCC disagrees, suggesting its opposition may have more political motives than environmental ones. Initially, the US Space Force supported SpaceX's proposal for increasing launches, but has recently shifted to align with the CCC, even forming interagency groups with the US Fish and Wildlife Service, the National Marine Fishery Services, and the FAA to regulate the frequency of launches. The CCC has also hinted that SpaceX might be leveraging its government permit to conduct private projects, particularly Starlink launches, without obtaining a separate Coastal Development Permit or CDP. While SpaceX does handle significant government work, including national security, global navigation and surveillance projects, Starlink launches serve both public and private interests, making it unclear if these launches should require a separate CDP or fall under government regulation. The Commission argues that SpaceX should secure its own CDP for such private endeavors. The CCC claims that 80 to 87% of SpaceX launches carry Starlink satellites rather than government payloads, raising additional questions for SpaceX. But first, let's see how the company responds. SpaceX defends itself. With rising tensions between SpaceX and the California Coastal Commission, several public figures have publicly supported SpaceX and expressed their disappointment in the Commission for its actions against the space company. Billionaire philanthropist and commercial astronaut Jared Isaacman vocally defended SpaceX, criticizing the Commission for conflating Musk's political status with the company's business operations in one of his posts. A day after the success of Starship's fifth test flight, he tweeted, "I criticized the California Commission yesterday for impeding SpaceX's progress, but respectfully suggested we take just today to celebrate the greatest engineering feat in recent history. Unlocking the secrets of the universe should transcend politics. Besides, the political battle will still be there tomorrow." Hopefully, the Commission took note of this. Rejecting SpaceX's proposal to increase its launches based on Musk's political stance is quite surprising, especially since he owns 42% of the company. Technically, SpaceX isn't solely owned by him, which means that the California Coastal Commission is effectively punishing other shareholders who have equity in the company. Asides this, the rejection would actually backfire against America and indirectly against California. SpaceX's increased launch cadence would bring more activity and jobs to California's Central Coast, contributing to local economic growth. Like I said before, Vandenberg is one of the few US launch sites capable of polar orbit launches, making it essential for commercial satellite deployment and national security missions. Limiting SpaceX's operations could restrict these economic benefits and reduce America's competitive edge in the aerospace industry. Another thing is that by restricting launch capacity per year, the CCC's decision could slow down the deployment of defense and intelligence satellites for the US government, potentially affecting national defense readiness. This effect is pretty significant given current global security concerns, where responsive satellite deployment is really important. Lastly, SpaceX's Starlink program relies on frequent launches to expand its satellite constellation for the provision of high-speed internet to underserved and remote areas. If SpaceX cannot increase its launch frequency from Vandenberg, the deployment of Starlink satellites may slow down, limiting broadband access for rural and international regions. This could also delay SpaceX's ability to serve the US government and help the government provide response in case of disasters like hurricanes and massive storms. In another post, Jared Isaacman listed out a few notes for the Commission on the topic of SpaceX launches. He said, "Most payloads launched from Vandenberg support the Department of Defense like Starshield, protecting our national security and warfighters in the field. We are in a space race for the ultimate high ground." This pretty much contradicts the Commission's claim that most of the launches were for Elon's Starlink satellites, and raises the question of whether the Commission relied on fallacies in its judgment of the space company. I personally believe that most launches from the Vandenberg launch site were actually for government projects, not necessarily for the Starlink constellation. Isaacman's second point read, "Starlink launches from Vandenberg helps connect people who are otherwise disconnected, whether through access to information, telemedicine, or during natural disasters. It is a service that improves lives and, in real cases, saves lives." We all know that the Starlink connection is not solely for SpaceX's activities. It also serves the general public and the US government. Although it operates under the umbrella of government work, it does so unofficially. Isaacman's fourth point knocked a hole right through the Commission's argument. He said, "And if all these big picture reasons aren't enough, consider this. SpaceX employs a lot of highly educated people to build, launch, and recover these rockets. If California does not want them, I imagine other states will." Isaacman indirectly referred to the Commission's rejection of the proposal as California turning away new Americans, effectively shooting itself in the foot. Think about it. If California doesn't want to increase SpaceX launches, it would be preventing the company from hiring more people and allowing them to come to the state. Elon Musk himself countered and criticized the Commission. In one of his posts, he said, "The Coastal Commission has one job: to take care of the Californian coast. It's illegal for them to make decisions based on what they, mostly wrong, think are my politics. For example, I have done more to advance sustainable energy and help the environment than maybe anyone ever, which is not exactly a far-right position. Yet, here they are shamelessly breaking the law. They should resign immediately and face the appropriate legal consequences for their actions." Elon Musk raises a strong point in this post. The Commission's actions against SpaceX could be seen as overreach, potentially bordering on a violation of law. SpaceX has maintained positive relations with the public and the Commission. Its launches are conducted safely with minimal environmental impact, residential areas are at a safe distance from the launch site, and each launch has contributed significantly to California's economy. So why hinder the company from taking another step forward? After all, this is purely a business matter, and linking Musk's personal politics to the company's operations is akin to tarnishing a clean slate. And let's be real, Musk has made tremendous contributions globally. Take Starlink, which has become one of the most innovative internet providers, particularly in underserved areas. Then there's SpaceX's Starship, which is pushing the boundaries of space exploration, bringing humanity closer to becoming a multi-planetary species. Not to mention Tesla's electric vehicles, which are helping reduce dependence on fossil fuels. Elon Musk has indeed made a significant impact on the world. In his second post, Musk tagged a post with the title, "California officials cite Elon Musk's politics in rejecting SpaceX launches," and said, "Incredibly inappropriate. What I post on this platform has nothing to do with a coastal commission in California, filing suit against them on Monday for violating the First Amendment." Yes, Elon Musk would be facing off against the California Coastal Commission, and in case you're unfamiliar with the First Amendment, Musk would be suing the Commission for infringing on some of his rights, such as freedom of speech and his right to participate in a legal political campaign or group. It's clear that the California Commission overstepped by intertwining Musk's political affiliations with SpaceX's business operations. If SpaceX chooses to take legal action against the Commission, it could even lead to significant changes, including a restructuring of the CCC's executive board. It would undoubtedly be a challenging fight for California. We've come to the end of today's video. If you've enjoyed it, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Space Minds for the latest updates on our space news and adventures.